Hi, Phil here, and today we're going to talk about how we can assemble our butcher block cart. And first, a note, it will come in a flat box, so please don't be intimidated by that, because we're going to show you how you can put this together. Okay? First of all, once you take it out of the box and get all the styrofoam and everything out, the easiest way is probably just to kind of lay everything out just to get yourself organized. It's going to come with instructions. So the first thing you want to do is take inventory, and you'll be following along with me, the same sheet that you'll get when you get your cart. So while we read down our parts list and hardware list together, we'll start with part A, which is actually the top piece right here, natural wood. It's just a beautiful piece right there by itself. B and C are the legs, and they actually are labeled. There are two labeled B and two labeled C. Parts D and E are the bottom shelf and the middle shelf, which are identical, so it doesn't matter which one is which when you're putting the table together. Now moving on to the right, we're going to look at our hardware list. You'll see number 1 is the bolt, and that is right here. This is the bolts. There's 8 of those. And part 2 is actually the screws, which I have right over here. Part 3 and 4 are the flat washer, which is a larger washer, and 4 is a spring washer. Now, mine came actually in my package. There was a box in a red bag, and actually they already put these on there for us, so it makes it real easy. And just to note what you want to put on first, you'll always put your spring, your smaller washer, and then your flat washer. Okay? And then after that, we're going down to number 5, which is the 4 metal brackets. And then number 6 are the 4 shelf pins. Number 7 are actually our wheel casters. There are 2 with brakes and 2 without brakes. Number 9 is the wrench. Number 10 is an Allen wrench. And number 11, which isn't actually included, is you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver to help you assemble this a little bit later on in the project. So we'll stop right here, and next we're going to put this together. Okay, and now we go to step 1. I have the tabletop upside down, and I have the legs all prepared for assembly here. A note, as you follow the diagram, the 2 front will be leg letter C, right like this, and then leg B, right here. And then on the back, I have, follow the diagram, leg C and leg B. Now, one note, just to confirm that you all have the legs in their proper positions, these holes, which will actually be for the brackets, will all be inside. Okay? Now, of course, we're going to be repeating this 4 times, but just to show you an example of one. And here you see I'm finishing the last leg right now. Alright, and the next step to further secure the legs, you'll note, as we mentioned in the beginning, you actually have 8 bolts and 8 of both the spring and the flat washer. So at this point, we've already put in the bottom 4, and now we will just screw in the top 4. And it also just gives us a little opportunity to show you how you can later on tighten this. Again, I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to be a step a little bit later on, but you'll be tightening that, and you'll repeat this 3 other times. Okay, following along now, step number 2, we'll be referring to parts number 5, the metal bracket, and part number 6, the shelf pin. As you see, up along the higher hole right here, the highest hole, what we'll be doing is we'll be actually putting in the bracket first, right there. You just want to kind of find the screw, just like this, and then you can actually just kind of line up. You can really do it mostly by your hand. But then this is where the Phillips screwdriver will come into play. You will actually just tighten that in right here. And then next, we will refer to the shelf pin, and that will screw in right here. Following along, now we're on step 3, which is actually assembling, putting the wheels, attaching the wheels. You may note I have the casters separated, the wheel casters, by the 2 with the brakes, which have this part, and there are 2 without the brakes, which are just plain. So you will pick a side. I'm going to put the front one right in here and put both of these on the front, and this will actually just screw right in. One of the trickier parts of it is just getting it lined in. Once it's lined in like that, it will just go in, just like that. But if you have any difficulty, it will just be getting it lined in, just like that. We'll repeat this 3 more times, of course, on the front, and that's good for now. I will take my other wheel caster with the brake right here, and again, dropping it in and getting it lined in, just like that. And the back 2, which of course do not have the brakes. Putting that right in like this, and the trick is just kind of, you can use your fingers kind of as a guide, really. Following along, we're now on step 4. And this is the time where you can actually take a moment, and I've already done this, but just to illustrate, I've tightened the brackets already up and down. Also, using the Allen wrench, I've already taken a moment and just tightened the bolts just ever so much. You don't want to strip it, but just so it's secure. So we've tightened all the screws and the bolts completely, okay? And now, what we're going to be doing is we'll be taking shelf D, very important, because that's going to be the bottom shelf. You'll see that I've aligned it. The video will also show you how I have the brackets aligned. So you'll be able to take the shelf and align the holes properly, okay? And then you will use the screws, and again, just like everything we've done before, the trick is just getting it in, just like this, so you can tighten the screws. Keep in mind, it is going to be the bottom shelf will just remain secure. The top shelf we'll see in a little bit. You'll be able to take that on and off, but we'll be repeating this 3 at a time. And step 5, we're taking shelf E, and we're just aligning it right above the shelf pins, just like this. And as I mentioned earlier, the nice thing about this is this can be easily removed. So if you just want one shelf, you have maybe a big lobster pot or something like that, you can remove the shelf, and then it will simply just go right on, just like this. Okay, and now as you see, I have the assembled butcher block carts. I have the black, which we've actually assembled today. It's actually a black kind of rubbed surface over there. Note, both have a natural wood block table surface, and also we have, which is beautiful in itself, the dark stain here as well. Just a couple of notes on some uses. These are great serving carts for entertaining, and if you want to just keep this as perhaps maybe like a kitchen island right here, we can use this opportunity to just kind of take a look at the bottom legs where we have our wheel casters with the brakes on that side. There is a note where it has on and off. Right now with my off actually towards the bottom, you can actually move this as a serving card. But let's say you want to use this more as a kitchen island, you can turn this so the on position is towards the bottom. And we'll turn this here too. See, the on position is more towards the bottom. It doesn't have to be real tight, but just so it's down, putting downward, and that will lock this so you won't be able to move it, and it can remain more of a permanent fixture in your kitchen.